Okay, start.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, welcome to MZS 1853 online class. This is Mohammad Shakhawat Hossain Khan, assistant teacher English morning shift from Asst school. Students, today I am going to give you a class on English first paper, and the lesson I am going to discuss with you is a false on Unit 3, and the lesson Unit 3 has the title, What Are Friends For? I think you have gone through these lessons, these units, so it will not be difficult on the part of you to understand and follow my class, and would not also be any difficulty to learn something from this class, from today's class. Students, let me write first the lesson title. The lesson title is The Best Friend. Dear students, starting from as back as class 3, you are quite acquainted, quite familiar with a paragraph, with a short composition, first day at school. It is nothing new to you. Those who have entered school, all of them, somewhere or other, once or twice or more times, have gone through this, have, in most cases, you have memorized this paragraph. Actually, it has become very simple matter with us, because over and over again we have to memorize or write this paragraph on your exam scripts. So it doesn't give any new interest or any curiosity to you when we discuss with such topic as the first day of school. But to look deeply into the matter, into the subject, you will find, although it is very important at the first day at school for any student, on the part of any student anywhere in the world, is a very important thing. But when we discuss things relating or centering on this issue, it becomes dull. But do we really think that way, that first day at school has enabled us to start a new life, an educational life, an institutional life? But what other things, what other realities these beginning bring us, present us, we don't know. Actually, the starting a school is opening a new door, a new opportunity to learning and knowing and understanding and experiencing the real values, real principles, real things, ethical points, everything in life. So the students, first day at school, normally we get introduced to some students, our classmates, and on the very first day they become they seem to be very unfriendly or seem to be unknown to us. Gradually, as days and months pass by, we become familiar with each other. We share our joys and sorrows, we share our complaints, we sometimes become angry, we sometimes become intolerant with our classmates, and this way we learn from mistakes, we learn from our quarrels, we learn from our mutual understandings, we learn from our solutions. This way our life get enriched with the things, with the lessons, with the knowledge that we need to furnish our life to lead a happy, peaceful and unhindered lifestyle. So students, today we are not going to beat about the bush regarding the things that happens on the first day. We will focus our attention to lesson 5. Yes, we as I said earlier, already I have said that we become friends, and when people become together, they become close to each other, then for very normal, it's very natural that things don't go equal or similar all day, all time. We become sometimes cross with our friends regarding any personal issue that we share, and we become angry with each other. And how to overcome such situations, such enmity, such temporary quarrels, misunderstanding, we have to have endurance, tolerance, and learning from life. And this learning, we can get some help about this learning from these units. Lesson 5, the lesson 5 stands with the title The Best Friend. You know why the best friend remains the best friend? Is it possible? Is it natural? Is it normal that my best friend, whom we get introduced in our first day at school or afterwards, are they remain same for all days? No. For some real reasons, from some practical reasons, we become angry with each other, relating any personal shared interest, shared necessities, etc., etc. So how can we get rid of this adverse situation, unwanted and unexpected situation, and how once best friend becomes once again best friend, although there is some setbacks in our relations for temporary reason. Look, the best friend, lesson 5, the title is The Best Friend. Once again, I would like to inform you. Here are some keywords that new words may have not gone through so far. And the first word is slap. Before starting a lesson, you should look at the unknown words that you may not have frequented so far, and because while you go through the lines, some unknown words may arise and you may be at difficulty to make the meaning of the sentence. So it is better to know the meaning of the unknown words that have been given in the just below the lesson title. Here are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. Let us first know the meaning of these 5 words beforehand. First we have slap. Okay, I think it is good to erase that, because you have seen the title and lesson name, so it is better to erase it so that we can write our necessary information here. First, slap. It is not necessarily knowable that only these few words are unknown. Maybe more than what is given as new words or keywords. Maybe more words appear unknown to you. We will tell the meaning of those words if anyone, if any comes across us while going through the lesson. So since it has been given, and these 5 words have been given, we are going to take up this first. Slap means hit someone on his face with usually with your palm. You know palm with your hand. Wow. Palm is this, palm or hand. And in our culture, in the South Asian culture, slapping is a very unacceptable symbol of insult. When one slaps another, it means that he has dishonored him bitterly, greatly, dangerously. Palm. Then comes oasis. Oasis. Maybe most of you have already known these words and their meanings and their use. Oasis is a place, it cannot be found anywhere. It is necessary to find a vast, endless desert to find an oasis. You know, desert is a place what is barren, it is not fertile, and vegetation is absent. There is no trees, there is no source of water for thousands of miles, for hundreds and thousands of radius. So sometimes you will find where there is some source of water. You know, water is essential for life. So here and there across the desert, wide apart from one another, there are some thickness of vegetation, some thickness of trees, because there is some sort of water there. Depending on that water, vegetation grows, trees grows, birds come and help spreading the vegetation, the number of trees. So oasis is a place in a vast desert where there is some sort of water, and around this water there are some trees and flowers and existence of lives of different kinds, like birds, reptiles, and wild animals like camels, tigers, and so on. So this is oasis. The pronunciation is not oasis, it's oasis. Then quicksand. So what is the meaning of oasis? A place in a desert, where there are trees, water, and existence of life, of various species. Let me erase the top one because the space is very narrow in this board. So we have no other choice than erasing or wiping the ones we have already seen or learned in order to capacitate further writings. Students, then comes quicksand. Quicksand. In Bangla, we call it chorabali, and practically we hear this word chorabali, but many may not know the meaning because we have no practical experience of seeing or getting trapped in a quicksand. So quicksand is a place near a marshy place, near a marsh or a river or a big lake or on the sea beach, where for some reasons which we don't actually know, only the experts can say why it happens. In a place near a river or a big marsh or big water source, the underground mud or ground soil becomes sticky there is the mixture of soil and sands, so it becomes sticky, like it takes a paste-like character. And when someone, something or someone heavy with weight falls on it, he or it starts going down it, because the sand or soil underneath is not strong, is not hard. It seems that the place will engulf the total body of the existence that falls on it. So it is called quicksand. Okay? The more you, when you get entrapped in a quicksand, the more you move, the more is the risk for you to get drowned and get died at last. It is wise not to steer so much and ask or screams for help. Quicksand. Trap like small leaves. Measuring some centimeters, some feet, radius. Mixture of sand and mud. So what does quicksand stands for? A trap-like small place measuring some feet of radius. The place is what? Maybe 2 or 3 feet across. So it is a very small place. Maybe 1 or 2 people can stand on it. The surface is circle-like, and it may give space only to 2 or 3 people to allow them to stand. And they give one, or if one stands on it, he starts going down. Of radius that has sticky or paste-like mixture of sand and mud in it. So once again I am going to erase it. Then comes the erase. This word I am not going to write because erase is a very known word to you. It means wipe away from existence. Engrave, I should write the meaning of it. Engrave. Engrave. This is a bar. It means write something, carving a piece of wood or something like that. So engrave is a permanent type of writing or on a design that cannot be erased. It stays permanent on the surface on which it is done. So the students, we have seen all the meanings of the given words here. So let's start reading aloud the total lesson. It's a very small lesson and I will not go line by line. I will just give you the meaning and the message of the summary of the story. Look, on the first day of the school, once again the the phrase first day comes. Class So, on the first day of the school, Farabi and Flora becomes friends, and they share their ideas about many various things relating to their studies and their personal life. So one day Farabi meets Flora with a very grave appearance, with a very depressed mood, in a sulky mood, obviously giving a very sad picture, obviously giving the idea that he is not well at all. And when being asked by Flora what happens, primarily Farabi doesn't desire to tell what happened, because he was so much shocked. Requested and begged once again and over again, he finally tells that his classmate, who is the captain of the school football team, maybe if I am not mistaken, his name is Harun. Yes, we are familiar with these things, that some schools compete each other through a tournament of some sort of game like football, cricket, etc., etc. So in an inter-school, like the way we are used to seeing the inter-school football tournament, Harun and Farabi was also in a team. Harun was the captain of the team, and inter-school tournament was going on, and someday Harun, without giving any explanation, without showing any cause or reason, cut Farabi's name, dropped Farabi's name from the list of the players. This made Farabi very sad and shocked and depressed and disappointed. So Farabi becomes very sad, and when he meets Flora, Flora asks what happened. Fine, although he didn't want to didn't disclose anything at the beginning, after that he is compelled or he is forced from his inside to tell what happened. And hearing this, Flora told or consoled Farabi in a way that is very amazing, that is very important, that is very valuable. And this is what is the thing that we can learn from this lesson. And my intention, my desire to appear before you with this lesson is that, because students, when we live in a family or a society, we have to live in family and society. There is no other option other than living together, because we are not angels, we are not devils, we are not any sort of being other than human being, because we have to take help of others. So when we live together, sometimes it is very natural that sometimes some sort of mistrust, disbelief, some sort of lack of confidence arises among ourselves, that make us very sad, make us enemy to one another, and relation drops, relation becomes bad, and relation gets relegation. It continues. In some cases, it continues for some days. In some cases, it continues for some months. In some cases, it continues for some years, and though very small in number, it continues for life, for one's lifespan, and can never become friends again, though this number is very, very rare. So what we should learn, because the man from whom we sometimes get the shock, sometimes gets the hate, may not actually a bad man, because lacking is always present. Sometimes we have the lacking, sometimes you have the lacking. So men are not beyond his limitation. man has a limitation. It is not that he will hit the every chop on the right spot. We do mistakes. We are by birth, by born, we are erroneous. We make mistakes. That doesn't necessarily mean that we do mistakes all the time. In one case, if I make a mistake, doesn't make any sense that I am a bad man. I will not be beyond these mistakes. These mistakes will stay with me forever. It doesn't mean that. So since I myself is not free from mistakes and wrongs, so why should we consider others' mistakes that have been done to me, intentionally or unintentionally? That means, for that reason, we will consider the person from whom we get the hit will be my enemy forever. And we should not come close together again. It is not the lesson. It is not the things. It is not the values of humankind. So, in order to console him and help him overcome his sadness, his shock, his depression, his frustration, his disappointment, Flora tells Farabi a story that is very interesting. And in the story, I think you have all gone through this story. These two friends were walking across the desert, and centering on some issue, they become angry to each other, and one friend slaps the other without giving any explanation. And the friend who got slapped walked some distance and wrote on the sand, "My best friend slapped me today." And after passing some years, after some times, while going through the desert, the friend who got slapped fell in a danger, and the first friend who slapped him earlier saved his life from the danger. And then the second friend wrote on a piece of stone, on a big stone, that "My best friend saved my life today." And my students, now I am going to ask you the question, why the same question that Flora asked Farabi, I am also going to ask you the same question. Why did the friend who got slapped wrote on the sand that his best friend slapped him, and why did he wrote on the stone, "My best friend saved my life"? Why? Because it gives the lesson, it gives the ideas, it gives the belief and that we should forget the shocks, the depressions, the shocks, that sadness, that depression, that disappointment, that distrust, disbelief, misbelief that we get from our friends. It is not permanent. Nobody is beyond error. Nobody is beyond limitations. Everybody has limitations. So maybe you have made a mistake now, and after some days we will be all right. We will be able to understand our fault, our wrong, and we will be repented for that. We will be be again equal with the near and dear ones. And so we should. And the friend who got slapped wrote on the sand, because the sand will erase the sad event, the insulting event, the insult that he got from his friend is not permanent. It needed to be erased. So he wrote the sadful incident on the sand so that the wind can erase it. And the reason of his writing, the good thing, the service he got from his friend who saved, the same friend who slept and then saved his life, he wrote it on the stone, because it gives the idea, the lesson that we should remember the service, that the favor, the help that we get from other. We shall be grateful to those who have done a mistake or any sort of injustice, maybe intentionally or may not be intentionally. We should forget those, and we should only remember the things that are good, that are constructive, that are worth helping us live peacefully and happily together in the family, in the society, and the world at large. So students, I think you have got the point of and the purpose of my today's lesson. I also think that my students, as well the students everywhere, will learn from this lesson and forget our sorrows and remember the service and favor and help that we get from our friends and everywhere around the society. So students, today we have possibly we started our lesson a little late because there was a technical problem. So I think we have come near the class schedule of our another teacher. So once again, we that doesn't matter because we could complete the lesson. So students, I think you have got some benefit from this lesson. I would like to urge you to to request you go on with your study. Do not while you have time, do not kill your time, because new system is expected to come before us, and we have to be hard about our study. Without studying, we cannot be able to complete our school life. So students, stay safe and fine, and be careful about COVID-19 transmission, because you know already Jamalpur district has been considered as the lockdown district. So be careful, and if it is not essential, do not go out, just stay inside and be fine. Thank you. We will see in our next classes each other. Thank you. Welcome. All the best.
Mr. Hossain.
Now.